Hello children. Which are obtained from the plant and the animal. So even though the plant and the animal is giving the material, so we are giving a different shape for that particular material. Those all come under natural materials only. But here we have some special materials made and invented and made by the man only. Like materials that are made by human beings from chemicals. No, they are going to use some chemicals, and so we have invented some materials which are called as man-made or synthetic materials. For example, here you can see plastic. So plastic we didn't get from anywhere, not from the earth, not from the plant and not from the animal. No. So this plastic material is purely invented by the human being. So that is why we call this as man-made material or synthetic material. Okay, and this is made by some chemicals. Okay children, so this is nothing but the plastic. Okay, and petrol also is there. So how petrol is again a man-made material? Why? Because we get petroleum from the earth. We get petroleum, the fuel which is named as petroleum from the earth. Again, that petroleum is refined by the man and petrol is produced. Okay, so that is why petrol also we can call it as man-made material. Clear children? So regarding plastics, plastic is made from a number of chemicals. It is long lasting, does not rust and waterproof. Plastic can be molded into different shapes easily. So it is used to make a large number of household items such as carry bags, boxes, bottles, okay, and furniture. So every house, every office on this planet has got plastic. Why? Because so this is very cheaply available, and cheaply available in the sense it is going to cost us less, and it is not going to get rusted, and it is waterproof. No children, so it is not going to break also. So that is why we prefer to have this material in our houses. Okay, and you can mold it. Plastic can be molded into different shapes easily. Even people can give us according to our convenient in different shapes. In different shapes according to our convenient, they can make the things with plastic. Okay, and for example, like we have carry bags, we have boxes, bottles, furniture, so many toys, so many planters, so many. No, so many things are made in different shapes with plastic, and it is going to give us a long life. That is why we prefer to use plastic. Okay, and what are synthetic fibers? Fibers such as nylon, rayon, acrylic, and polyesters are synthetic fibers. These fibers are used to make things such as ropes, cloths, and umbrellas. Okay, so synthetic fibers, like I already said, like in cloth we have learnt about three types of cloth. One is cotton, another one is linen, and even jute also. That was by the plants, but here we have another synthetic fiber. So where you get a cloth such as nylon, rayon, acrylic, polyester. These all are synthetic fibers. These are man-made fibers. Man-made fibers. Okay, and these fibers, they are used to make things such as ropes, cloths, and umbrellas. No, you might have seen the quality of the umbrella, the material of the umbrella. No, it is not like cotton. No, that is a synthetic fiber. Okay, so these things are man-made things, like even the synthetic fiber and rubber. Okay, again in this rubber also you have synthetic rubber which is made from petroleum is used to make things such as tiles, tubes, pipes and mats. So synthetic rubber is used to made is made from petroleum. Okay, and we make things such as tires, tubes, pipes and mats with this rubber material. Okay children, again wax is there. Wax also is made from petroleum. Okay, and this is used to make candles, crayons and shoe polish. No, you are very familiar with wax. Why? Because you use crayons, you use shoe polish, and we also use candles when we do not have electricity in our homes. Okay, so this wax again is made from petroleum. Clear children? So these are the man-made things. And the sixth one is a chip. So what is a chip? A chip is one of the main parts of the computer. One of the main parts of the computer. So most of us these days, because online classes are going on, so even before that also, every home maximum has got computers, no? To do our office work, to do our personal works and to take care of our studies. So we are taking the help of the computer, no? So in this computer, one is a very important part which we call it as a chip. We call it as chip. Okay, and this chip is partly made from a material called silicon. So this chip, how do we make this chip children? With a material which is called as silicon. Okay, and the silicon is obtained from sand. So silicon is obtained from sand. Sand is a natural material, and from that natural material we are making a material which is called as silicon. And by this silicon, with the help of this silicon, we are making one more material which is useful to operate a computer, that is chip. Okay children, so this is one more material which is made by the man. Okay, and the other one is wood, sand and crude oil are natural things. Wood, sand, crude oil. Crude oil is without refining, like petroleum is crude oil. Petrol is again a refined oil. No, so as it is, we cannot use petroleum. So after refining it, we will get petrol or diesel, then we can use it for our vehicles. Okay, so wood, sand and crude oil, these are all what? Natural things, and they are used to make man-made things like paper, glass and plastic. Okay, so these things, what this man-made, this natural things, they are used by man to make some man-made things, like from with wood we'll make paper, no, and we will also make glass. With sand we are making silicon, no, so we are also making plastic with some chemicals, no, with crude oils also we are generating some type of oils, diesels and also natural gases. Okay, so it's not natural gases, some type of gases. Okay children, so these are used to make man-made things, and thus man-made things are made from natural things. So that is why we can say that man-made things are made from natural things. And in this picture children, so this is the chip. This is the chip. Okay, so outside it it looks like this, but inside the chip you will be having this type of look, where you have all these small tiny parts which are going to help the computer to function in a proper way. This we call it as a chip. Okay children, clear? Now, so answer the following question. So here children, you have got some pictures which are made by different materials. Okay, so which of these materials do you think is the odd one out and why? Okay, see, you are having so many materials like stone, like you have got stone, wood, chalk, wool, silk and plastic. No, from these, so what is the odd one? Odd one is plastic. Why? Because this is man-made. man-made material. Why? Because this is made by with some chemicals, no, which man has invented. Whereas wool, silk, chalk, wood, stone, all are natural materials. No, which we get from plants, which we get from animals, which we get from sand. No, all these are natural. Even chalk also is made by the limestone. Okay, so these are all the natural materials. Clear, children? The odd one is the plastic material. Clear? Now we'll go with the second other exercise. No, sorry, we are starting matter here. Okay, so until now we have learnt about different type of materials. Now what is matter? matter, matter. So there are so many things around us. Like in the beginning also we said that we have got so many things around us that we call it as different materials. No, different kind of materials. And all these things take up space and also have weight. All the things from the chalk piece till a big vehicle, no, big a vehicle or anything, if you say, they are going to take up some space. They occupy some space and also they have weight. No, they have weight. So anything that occupies space and has weight is called matter. So any object which is going to occupy space and also has weight, then that is called as matter. Clear, children? For example, human being, water, air, etc. So even we also belong to matter only, because we occupy space. Our human body occupies space. We do have weight. No. So even water also occupies space. It has weight. We are going to measure it in liters. No. Air also occupies space. No. So air also has got weight. No. So because of this, everything in this, everything whichever has got space and also has weight is called as matter. And matter is nothing but which is around us. So whatever we see around us, so all that comes under matter. Okay, children? And it makes up all things including living and non-living things. Like we have learnt about materials. So how were they? They also belong to living and non-living things. No. So matter is also made up by or it includes all living and non-living things. Okay, so scientists classify matter into three main forms or states, which is called as solid, liquid and gas. So matter is of three types, or you can also say that matter is in three forms. What is that? Solid. For example, stone, solid. Okay, and liquid, example water. Gas, example water vapor. Okay, so matter is of three forms. Okay, and all matter is made up of very small particles, which we call it as molecules. Okay, matter is made up of very small particles, very small, very tiny particles, which we call it as molecules. Okay, children, so this you have to remember. Okay, and molecules are arranged in different ways in different things. So these molecules, that is very small particles, they are arranged in different ways in different things. That is why we have different materials. Materials are nothing but matter only. Okay, materials are nothing but matter. Okay, so we have different materials. No, so why? Because molecules are arranged in different ways in different materials, different things. Okay, and all matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms. So matter is made up of, all matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms. So here You might have, you can ask me, you said like all matter is made up of very small particles called molecules. Now you are saying that it is atoms. So when we call atoms, why we call atoms is two or more atoms combine to form molecules. The small particles, if it is only one atom, if it is on the particle is only one, then we call it as atom. Okay, then if it is two or more atoms, if they combine, then it is going to form as molecules. Okay, and these molecules are going to form as matter. Clear, children? And a molecule is the smallest piece of substance that has the same property as the entire substance. Okay, so molecule is the smallest piece of substance, okay, that has the same property as the entire substance as molecule. So whatever substance it is having, it is going to have the same property to the entire substance. Okay, some substance is nothing but here the material. Clear, children? So what is matter? So whatever we see around us is matter, and what object or which object is occupying space and has weight is called matter. For example, human being, air, water, and matter includes living and non-living things. Okay, and matter is classified into three forms. What are they? Solid, liquid, and gas. And all matter is made up of very small particles called molecules. But if there is only one particle, then we call it as atom, and two or more atoms combine to form a molecule. Okay, children, clear? If there are more than two atoms then in the matter, then we call it as molecules. Clear, children? Yes, now. So this is about matter. Then next we'll see what is how does this atom looks like. Okay, atoms are what? They are made up of fundamental particles. So we call that very small tiny particles. No, so what are the tiny particles? Like electrons, protons, and neutrons. What are they? They are electrons, protons, and neutrons. Clear? And protons and neutrons lie in the center of the atom, and electrons are moving around the nucleus in certain orbit. So this is what? This is nothing but the nucleus. Okay, nucleus. Okay, and this protons and neutrons and protons, these two are going to be in the center. Okay, and these electrons, what do? They are going to move around the nucleus in center orbit. See here. So they are going to move just in an orbit, in the sense like they are going to take a round shape. They are going to travel move in a round shape around the nucleus in the center orbit. Clear, children? So what you have to remember is atoms are made of fundamental particles, which are electrons, protons, and neutrons. Clear? Now, this diametric representation of atom. Okay, like in before slide we have seen a picture. No, we have learnt that we have electrons, protons, neutrons. No, and all materials of the universe are made up of minute particles called atoms, and structure of atoms of some elements has been given below. See here how clearly it is there. So this is what? Proton, which is in the center. No, even electrons also will be in the center part of atom only. So this is atom of hydrogen. Okay, atom of lithium and atom of carbon. So there are three different pictures how they are moving around. No, then atoms are the basic building blocks of matter. So they are going to build the matter. Okay, as we have got our bricks to build one house, to construct one building. Atoms are the basic building blocks of matter. Okay, atoms can join together to form molecules, which in turn form the objects around us. So what we learned, if there is more than one atom or two or more atoms, then they are going to form as molecules. No, so which are going to form the objects. Objects are nothing but here made up of different materials. No, so it is not possible to break down the atom, further retaining the properties of the element. Okay, atoms are not visible to the naked eye. For example, the atoms of the element carbon cannot be further break down, and each part has the properties of carbon. See children, in simple definition, I can tell you that we cannot break down the atom. Okay, and the properties, whatever property the atom is having, it is going to be forever with the element only. Okay, so you cannot break down the atom. Clear? Now, so because as you go for your higher classes, you will be learning more about this. So what you have to learn is, like, atom is nothing but a minute particle. Okay, a minute particle, and all materials of the universe are made up of this minute particles, which are called as atoms. Okay, yes. And what are molecules? They are the smallest particle of matter. They are also the smallest particle of matter, and which can exist in a free state. It is called as molecule. So matter exists in a free state. Okay, and structure of molecules of some elements is given here. You can just see, like, see, this is what the molecules of nitrogen, and these are the molecules of water. So these are molecules of ammonia. Okay, so molecules of any given substance are all similar. They are all same. Okay, a molecule is defined as a group of at least two atoms in a definite arrangement. So how is molecule formed, children? Minimum two, at least in the sense minimum of two atoms. See, this is one atom, this is one atom. Okay, minimum of two atoms is going to form as molecule. Clear, children? See here. So there is one example, like H2O. No, H2O is what? That is a formula for water. No, H2O, that is hydrogen 2 and oxygen. Okay, see, water is comprised of numerous water molecules. Each water molecule is made up of one oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms. See, you are having one oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms. So that is why we call it as H2O. Okay, two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. That is the formula for water. So a water molecule can be further divided into oxygen and hydrogen atoms. Okay, children, understand? So how you get the equation? That is the formula for water. H2O, that is two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. Clear? Now, so we said that we are having three states of matter. No. So what are they? They are solid state, liquid state and gaseous state. So solid state, how the atoms will be here? Atoms are tightly packed and have little space to move. Solid, if somebody holds you very tightly, children, for example, can you move? Can you move very freely? No, you cannot move. If you hold something very tight, no, we cannot move. Same like that here, atoms are packed very tightly and they have very little space to move. Clear? And solids have fixed shape and do not flow. And these solids, they have got a fixed shape and they do not flow. For example, book. It is a solid object, solid material. No, it do not flow. Will it flow like water, children? No, because it is a solid material. Okay, so this is about solid state, liquid state. Liquid state, in this, atoms are more loosely packed and have more space to move. Atoms are more loosely packed. No, because in liquid, like if you say water, milk, any liquid, so it can flow. It can flow, and easily if you pour water in any container, it is going to take the shape of that particular container. No, why? Because they are very atoms in this liquid state are loosely packed. They are not tight as the solids. Okay, and they have more space to move here. Clear? So liquid flows, hence they don't have fixed shape. Liquid, it does not have a fixed shape. No, if you pour it in a glass, it takes the glass shape. If you pour water in a glass, if you pour water in a bucket, it takes a bucket shape. In a jug, it takes a jug shape. In a plate, it takes a plate shape. So that is why it doesn't have a definite shape. Clear, children? And gaseous state, the third one. The atoms are far from each other and move very freely. Atoms here, what happens? They are very far from each other. Are you able to see here, children? So here in the solid state here, these are all are nothing but the atoms. Okay, these are very far away from each other. Why? Because it is gas, air. You have more space in air where they can move very freely. Okay, and gases don't have fixed shape. Again, so if you blow air in the balloon, it is going to take the shape of a balloon. Air is going to take the shape of the balloon. No, at the same time, if you pump air into the cycle tire, it is going to take the shape of the cycle tire. No, same like liquid, even air also, that is gas. Gas is nothing but air. No, this also does not have a fixed shape. Clear, children? So what are the states of matter? 3 states of matter: solid, liquid and gaseous state. Clear, children? Yes, now. So hope you have understood, like whatever we have discussed. We have learnt that matter, whatever we see around us, is made up of matter, and which has space, which occupies space and which has weight, is called as matter. No, and atom is made by matter is made by atoms and molecules. Clear? And there are 3 states of matter. What are they? Solid, liquid and gaseous state. Clear? So hope you have understood this, children. So we will be continuing with much more information in the next class. Until then, take care.